the science of happiness and fulfillment. What if I told you that the secret to lasting happiness isn't as elusive as you might think? What if fulfillment wasn't something reserved for the lucky few, but a skill, a choice that you could master starting today? Take a moment to let that sink in. How much of your life are you living on autopilot, waiting for something external to bring you joy? A new job, a bigger house, a better relationship? And here's the real question. What if the happiness you're searching for has been within you all along, just waiting for you to tap into it? Happiness isn't just a fleeting emotion. It's a science, a practice, and yes, a journey. Today, we're diving deep into the science of happiness and fulfillment, unpacking what truly makes us thrive. Stick with me until the end, because what you'll discover might just transform your life. Let's start with the basics. The neuroscience of happiness. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, a mechanism that has helped humans survive for millennia. But what's really happening in your brain when you feel joy? Enter the neurochemicals, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins, the so-called happy hormones. Dopamine is your reward chemical. It's released when you accomplish something, even small wins like checking off a task on your to-do list. Serotonin stabilizes your mood. It's that sense of calm satisfaction you feel when you bask in the sunlight or reflect on your achievements. Oxytocin is the love hormone, activated when you hug someone or connect deeply with another person. And endorphins? They're your body's natural painkillers, released during exercise or laughter. Now think about this. If you know what creates these neurochemical responses, how can you intentionally cultivate them in your daily life? What if you made a conscious effort to celebrate small wins, spend time in nature, nurture meaningful connections, or simply move your body? Here's your first action step. Choose one activity today that you know will trigger a positive neurochemical release and commit to it. But here's where it gets interesting. Happiness isn't just about chasing a chemical high. Positive psychology, the scientific study of what makes life worth living, teaches us that true happiness comes from a deeper, more sustainable source. Dr. Martin Seligman, often called the father of positive psychology, introduced the PERMA model: positive emotion, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishment. Think about those for a moment. How many of these are you actively pursuing in your life? And here's a twist. Happiness isn't just a state of being, it's a skill. You might be thinking, wait, isn't happiness something you're born with? Some people are just naturally happier, right? Yes, genetics do play a role. But, and here's the good news, research shows that up to 40% of our happiness is within our control. That's where intentional effort comes in. Take gratitude, for example. Studies reveal that practicing gratitude daily can significantly boost your happiness levels. And I don't mean just saying thank you. I'm talking about deeply reflecting on the things you're grateful for, even writing them down. Here's another action step. Tonight, jot down 3 things you're grateful for. They can be as simple as a kind word from a friend or the way your coffee tasted this morning. Do this for a week and notice the shift in your mindset. Now let's talk about connection. Humans are social creatures. Our brains are hardwired for connection. Studies have shown that the quality of our relationships is one of the biggest predictors of long-term happiness. Think about your own life. Who are the people that lift you up? When was the last time you told them how much they mean to you? Here's a challenge. Reach out to someone you care about today. Send them a message, give them a call, or meet up in person. Express your appreciation for them. Not only will it brighten their day, but it will also release oxytocin in your brain, strengthening your bond and your happiness. Another cornerstone of fulfillment is purpose and meaning. Viktor Frankl, the Holocaust survivor and author of Man's Search for Meaning, once said, "Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose." Pause for a moment. What gives your life meaning? What drives you to get out of bed in the morning? Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It's not about saving the world or becoming famous. It can be as simple as being there for your family, contributing to your community, or pursuing a passion. Here's your next step. Reflect on what truly matters to you, and set one meaningful goal aligned with your values. Now let's address the elephant in the room: negativity. Negative thinking can be a silent thief of joy. How often do you find yourself ruminating on past mistakes or worrying about the future? Here's the thing. What you focus on grows. If you focus on problems, they magnify. But if you focus on solutions, opportunities, and gratitude, those expand instead. One powerful way to combat negativity is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment without judgment. It's about noticing your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without getting swept away by them. Imagine the peace that comes from not being controlled by your mind, but being the observer of it instead. A simple mindfulness exercise you can start today is focused breathing. Take a few minutes to sit quietly and focus on your breath. Inhale deeply for 4 counts, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. Repeat. This not only calms your mind, but also reduces stress and boosts resilience. Speaking of resilience, let's talk about stress. Stress is inevitable, but how we respond to it makes all the difference. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to see challenges as opportunities for growth. And guess what? Resilience can be built, just like a muscle. One way to build resilience is by reframing your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Remember, every challenge carries a lesson, and every setback is a setup for a comeback. Let's circle back to gratitude for a moment. Gratitude isn't just a feel-good practice, it's transformative. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. It rewires your brain to see the positive, even in difficult situations. Here's a fun exercise. Start a gratitude jar. Every day, write down one thing you're grateful for and drop it in the jar. Over time, you'll have a tangible reminder of all the good in your life. And don't underestimate the power of affirmations. Positive affirmations are like seeds planted in your mind. They might not bloom overnight, but with consistent nurturing, they can transform your inner dialogue. Try this. Every morning, look in the mirror and say one positive affirmation. It could be as simple as, "I am worthy of happiness," or "I have the power to create a fulfilling life." Let's add a few more insights, drawing inspiration from the book, The Science of Happiness and Fulfillment. One profound quote from the book states, "Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions." Think about that for a moment. This echoes the idea that happiness isn't a gift handed to us by life, but a result of the choices we make every single day. What actions are you taking to create your happiness? Another powerful line from the book is, "The more we chase happiness, the further it seems to run away from us. True happiness is found when we stop chasing and start living." This reminds us of the paradox of happiness. The harder you try to force joy into your life, the more elusive it becomes. Instead, embrace the present moment and live authentically. What areas of your life are you overcomplicating when simplicity could bring you peace? The book also emphasizes the importance of self-awareness with this gem. Fulfillment begins with understanding who you are and what you value most. Self-awareness is the foundation of happiness because it helps you align your life with your deepest values and desires. Take a moment to reflect on this. Are your daily actions and decisions aligned with the person you want to be? Here's another challenge. Spend 10 minutes today journaling about what truly matters to you. Write about your values, your passions, and what makes you feel alive. Then think about one small change you can make to live more authentically. Finally, the book shares an unforgettable insight. Gratitude is the bridge from chaos to clarity. In times of stress or confusion, gratitude can anchor you. It can bring clarity to what's truly important and help you navigate even the toughest challenges. Start using gratitude as a tool to ground yourself whenever life feels overwhelming. Now, let's weave in more wisdom from other powerful self-help books. In The Happiness Advantage by Sean Acher, we find this striking quote, "Happiness is not the belief that we don't need to change. It is the realization that we can." This idea is deeply empowering. It reminds us that happiness isn't about staying stagnant, but about embracing growth and transformation. Consider a time in your life when a challenging experience led to profound personal growth. Wasn't the joy that followed even richer because it was earned through perseverance? Another brilliant insight comes from Atomic Habits by James Clear. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. What this teaches us is that happiness and fulfillment aren't about setting lofty ideals. They're about creating daily habits that support our well-being. If your goal is to feel more connected, for instance, what systems can you build? Maybe it's scheduling a weekly call with a loved one or joining a community group that shares your interests. From the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, we hear, "Don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you." How often do we let our happiness depend on the opinions or actions of others? By embracing this wisdom, we reclaim our power. Imagine a situation where you felt slighted or misunderstood. What would change if you saw it not as a reflection of your worth, but as someone else's internal struggle? And in Daring Greatly by Brené Brown, we are reminded, vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. Vulnerability often feels risky, but it's also where the magic of connection happens. Think of a time you shared your authentic self with someone and how it deepened your bond. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the courage to be real. Let's look to science for further evidence of what drives happiness. A groundbreaking study by Harvard researchers, the Harvard Study of Adult Development, has been following participants for over 80 years. One of its most compelling findings is that strong relationships are the key to happiness and health. The researchers found that people who reported having close connections with family, friends, or community were not only happier, but also lived longer. This underscores the importance of nurturing our relationships. Imagine what your life could look like if you invested just a little more time in the people who matter most. Another fascinating piece of research comes from Dr. Barbara Fredrickson, a leading psychologist in the field of positive emotions. Her broaden and build theory suggests that positive emotions broaden our thought-action repertoires, allowing us to see more possibilities and build lasting resources like skills and relationships. For instance, a simple act of kindness, like helping a stranger or sharing a smile, can ripple outward, creating a chain reaction of positivity. How could you apply this in your daily life? What small gesture could you make today to spark a wave of positivity? Research by Sonia Lubomirsky, a psychologist and happiness researcher, has shown that practicing acts of kindness increases happiness not only for the receiver, but also for the giver. In one study, participants who performed 5 acts of kindness in a single day reported a significant boost in happiness. Think about this. What if you devoted just 1 day a week to spreading kindness? Could it transform not only your life, but the lives of those around you? Finally, let's not overlook the power of purpose, as explored by neuroscientist Dr. Victor Strecher. His research reveals that having a clear purpose in life activates the brain's reward system, increasing dopamine levels and enhancing overall well-being. Purpose-driven individuals are not only more resilient to stress, but also more likely to achieve their goals. Reflect on this. What is one purpose-driven goal you can set for yourself right now? How can aligning your daily actions with that purpose bring greater fulfillment? To add to this wisdom, let's draw inspiration from some of the most renowned philosophers and motivational speakers. Aristotle once said, "Happiness depends upon ourselves." Think about this for a moment. It's a profound reminder that external circumstances do not define us. What if, instead of blaming outside factors, you took full responsibility for your happiness? How empowering would that be? Tony Robbins, one of the most influential motivational speakers of our time, often emphasizes, "The quality of your life is the quality of your relationships." This aligns beautifully with the Harvard study mentioned earlier. Consider your relationships right now. Are they thriving? Are you dedicating enough energy to nurture them? Then there's Oprah Winfrey's wisdom. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. Gratitude is not just a practice, but a perspective. Imagine how your outlook would shift if you focused on abundance rather than scarcity. From former President Theodore Roosevelt comes the timeless quote, "Do what you can with what you have where you are." This reminds us that happiness isn't about waiting for perfect conditions. It's about taking action with what's already within your grasp. And Brené Brown reminds us again, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. How freeing would it be to drop the masks we wear to fit in and fully embrace our true selves? This could be the key to deeper fulfillment. In a famous TED Talk, Dan Gilbert, author of Stumbling on Happiness, discusses the concept of synthetic happiness. Happiness we create when we don't get what we initially wanted. He explains, our psychological immune system lets us feel truly happy even when things don't go as planned. Think of a time you didn't achieve a goal, but still found joy in the outcome. That's your psychological resilience at work. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. It's about progress, not perfection. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to a life of joy and fulfillment. Now it's your turn. What is one action step you'll take today? Will you practice gratitude? Reach out to a loved one? Try a mindfulness exercise? Choose one and commit to it. If you've learned something new or heard something today that resonates with you, take a moment to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, and like this video. By doing so, you're not just helping us reach more people, you're joining a community committed to growth and fulfillment. And before you go, I want to hear from you. Is there a specific topic you'd like us to explore? Something you believe could make this world a better place? Let us know in the comments below. Together, we can create a ripple effect of positivity and change. Remember, the journey to happiness and fulfillment starts with a single step. Take yours today.